There are plenty of bad romance anime, and gals can't be kind to otaku, or Otogal should be one of them. The nerdy, lonely main character who gets the vibrant popular girl to fall for him is not a new story at all, and pushing it as hard as the show does should be a generic plot for disaster. Having two popular girls fall for this nerdy protagonist should make this 10 times worse. And yet, I find myself actually invested in the characters and the story this anime is trying to tell. Usually, these types of anime are filled with eye-roll inducing moments, cringe setup, and forced misunderstandings. It instead twists those expectations against us, not only to catch us off guard, but to keep us wanting more each episode. In a crowded romance landscape, this anime should blend in with the rest. I'm here to make the case otherwise. As an ongoing adaptation, this anime has already moved past a lot of common cliches. The comedy is far funnier than expected, and it's completely changed my mind on how I view a plot structure that I used to not be a fan of. If nothing else, you can't disagree that the intro alone makes it worth the try. I'm not here to convince you that this anime is the greatest romance anime this season. I'm here to tell you that this anime works in a way that others fail to do. From the beginning, Otogal makes one thing clear. This is a love triangle. This is why I felt the anime was already digging its grave. The usual problem with a love triangle is that it's obvious who will win from the start, and it causes a lot of conflict where the two characters are constantly at war to be with the third. Love triangles are a meaningless game. You can't have romance between one pairing while it dissolves with the other. While you get the good ending with one character and true love blossoms, the other is practically sidelined and somehow is supposed to be okay with that. Yes, it's a mature outcome for the losing heroine, but it still leaves a bad taste. It's also a harsh reminder of the realities of love. That's not a bad thing, but it's still reasonable to turn away some people. Otogal approaches the love triangle differently. It still retains some tension that comes with the competition between the two rivals and makes the story compelling. The anime chooses to put both girls on equal footing. They are both introduced at the same time and in the same context. In each episode, one of the two love interests will have a meaningful moment with the protagonist, but the other never feels left behind. Kei secretly being an otaku makes it an easy connection, but somehow the show doesn't push her as the obvious winner. Instead, Kotoko also has her own connection with him in a unique way. That's why the romance not only feels balanced, but fair. We see how each of them develop their own connection and eventually love him in their own way. It's refreshing to see this, because it doesn't feel like one side is facing small challenges while the other is fighting an uphill battle, which is one of the reasons why this anime works so well. Despite being a romance anime, it's clear to me that Otogal is trying to tell a story about self-awareness and juggling your friendship with your feelings. The anime displays time and time again how both girls seem aware of the other's feelings for Takuya. They are competing in a way, but that competition feels playful and teasing, at least for now. Kei and Takuya connect through their lives as otakus. They share that common interest of wanting to rant about their favorite anime. They have a sense of comfort with each other that they don't have with others. Kotoko doesn't know much about anime, but she is aware of how much he loves it, as well as Kei. She makes sure to listen to what he has to say, and she celebrates his talents as a fan artist instead of judging him like Takuya feared. Both of them also push each other toward Takuya instead of getting between each other. Kei is aware of Kotoko's feelings and worries for her, wanting her love to be felt, while Kotoko can see the feelings Kei has and gets her to go to Takuya as much as she does herself. And in the end, we still see all three of them have fun with each other. They even celebrate Takuya when he improves socially. This gives the audience the impression that the three of them would be friends no matter if they had feelings for each other or not, and I find that refreshing. Otogal takes the time to strengthen the love triangle through friendship, which is something that is different from the usual takes on the trope. The characters are also unique and fun, instead of fitted into a cookie cutter to match every other anime. Kei is the cold, popular beauty, who is secretly a big nerd and actually a lot more immature than she lets on. She gets sidetracked from studying and is very bad at school. This makes her steal the spotlight when it comes to comedy, because she can flip the switch and become someone you never expected. And it also creates tension between how people from the outside view her and how she sees herself. Kotoko is the popular gal who is secretly a responsible and caring older sister. She seems clueless but actually does really well in school, which isn't new, but she also has an emotional intelligence that I really love. When Takuya is speaking, she makes it clear that she truly is listening. She also is the only one who sees the relationship between the three of them for what it is. She often pushes both herself and Kei at Takuya time and time again, always teasing and pushing their buttons. But we also see her own insecurity and nervousness about love. Not only does she struggle to understand how to juggle between her love and her friendship, but she is also the boldest out of the group, almost as if she's challenging herself to push through this time of vulnerability. And Takuya, he is a huge nerd for a childish anime, but he is also a good person at heart. I like how even though he sees himself as a generic nerd, he still tries to push himself to improve in small ways. When he first discovered Kei's otaku side, he pushed himself towards her, to talk to her, even if it was intimidating. Takuya doesn't magically become this cool character, but he does speak his mind, and he is actively trying to be a worthy friend to Kei and Kotoko. That does make the beginning of the anime a little similar to plenty of others, but the reward for watching it all the way through is fulfilling. Otogal takes already familiar comedy tropes and gives them just a little difference. They don't try to reinvent the wheel, but I do think they have revolutionized how to do a love triangle right. Otogal shouldn't work. Everything about it on the surface says it shouldn't, but when you really sit down to watch it and understand the character dynamics and relationships, you realize that this anime is different. They found a slightly altered formula that changes love triangles for the better. That's why Otogal is unique, and that's why Otogal works.